Last is the arrival of the Commissioner of Police, Delta State Police Command, CP Abaniwonda S. Olufemi, PS. He is with our local government chairman, Honorable Agbateyiniro of vigilantes and anti-call groups, volunteers in Warri South local government mission.
I would like to stand on the ready status quo. But having said that, I would like to recognize the grassroots executive chairman of Warri South local government. My chairman, to his left is also another versatile local government chairman. Again, Chairman Uwe, another grassroots individual, members of Warri South local government, invited guests, course participants, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to stand before you today to make a very few remarks. We are in Delta, and His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Delta State, as what he calls the more agenda. An integral part of that more agenda for the people of Delta is enhanced security. And for any person who comes here, it is important that we provide that enabling environment so that our people and businesses can thrive. I would also like to say that my Inspector General of Police, IGP Olufemi, PhD, holder of the Police Medal, is also an avid lover of what we call community policing. And community policing is nothing other than working with the various communities in which we find ourselves to enable us to render service. So what are we doing today? We have inaugurated and working with our community. For any person who has been privileged to understand what community policing is about. An integral part of community policing is what is called the community safety partnerships. And it simply means you work with your community to identify what are their security needs. What are their security challenges, and how do we go about solving them? So, what I did here today is that the executive chairman of Warri South has identified, based on past experience, some of the security challenges that we find. And in his wisdom, he has chosen and decided to partner with officers and men of the Nigerian Police and of Delta State Command to ensure that we serve you better. What I would like to appeal, Chairman, is that we will do some of the things we are required, but you also know that every service has a terminal date. At the commencement, or before we arrived at these 250 people, there was screaming. Shakespeare says, the heart of a man is desperately dead. What I will implore us to do, Chairman, is that every 5 years, every 1 year, every 2 years, we'll do a review of those who are brought into the system, do a rescreening. For those who are not met up with the required standards, they are screened out, and probably better hands are also brought in. I'm also aware that Warri itself is a mini Nigeria. And I will require us to to ensure that every person you are bringing into this anti-cult and vigilante are assigned to specific communities. And this is very important. One of the core principles of community policing is people working in their various communities. It means that you have empathy for your people. When you bring an outsider, he has no affinity to you. He can do. So please, Commander and Chairman, in the assignment of these individuals to the various places you want them to work, make sure that the bulk of them remain in their own community. I can assure you that you will get better service. We all know, about 3, 4, 5 months ago, before they came on board, the executive government directed that every vigilante in Delta State should be suspended. And there was a reason for this. Because we came to the realization that a number of them became involved in crime. Some were into robbery, some were into kidnapping. And that was why I gave the then area commander the directive to ensure that there was no vigilante. Now that you are coming on board, ladies and gentlemen, we will demand from you a very high standard. The powers that will be given unto you is not the powers for you to oppress your people. It is not the power for you to obtain your people. It is a call to service. And when you serve, the reward will come to you. We are also aware, and every person seated here will probably also be aware of the evil of drug and cultism. They are two evil, and they go hand in hand. And these twin evil have eaten deep into the fabrics of our various communities. So please, as you come on board, drug abuse, mark my word, chairman, commander, any person who abuses drugs is likely to be a cultist. Now, if you are inaugurating a training for anti-cult and vigilante and you are a cultist, have you not shot ourselves in the leg? So you will continue to place, revert, bring in credible people. I will not bore you with plenty speech. On this note, Chairman, Area Commander, I will want to declare open this today training for courts, anti-courts, volunteers, and vigilante in Delta State. May we all serve our people in place of our capacity.
Vigilante, say something, say something. Thank you very much. Today is a very special day for us for so many reasons. But for want of time, I'm going to limit it to 2 reasons. The first reason why today is special is that today is on the 12th of the 12th month. 12 plus 24 give us 24. 12 plus 12 give us 24. Isn't that special? Yes. What makes it more special is that our father, who has been coordinating the security architecture of the state. Of course, we all know what the Ember months used to be in Delta State, from September through October, November to December. It will be difficult to stay in Warri and Uwe without hearing all the terrible things. But we are already in December. In fact, today is about half of December, and we have not heard of any of such major security. If your hands are not failing you, I want to very humbly move an empathy motion that we all stand up to give a standing ovation to a man who has made all of this possible for us with round of applause. There is no other day, no other time to let you know that we are very grateful than today. We are indeed very, very grateful, sir. You know, it is customary to us in this part of the world that it is only when somebody does what is wrong that people talk about it. What people really talk about in this part of the world is when people do good things. But in this case, we are not ashamed to say again that we are very grateful to our CP. Our CP very remarkably and again worthy of mention is the officers, your officers that are working with us here in the local government. From the area commander to your DPOs in Warri South. Of course, I have reached out with my co-chairman in Uwe local government. It's the same story. I want to say very proudly, our CP, that your men are very wonderful men. Their support, their collaboration to the achievement, the attainment of the status of security we have never seen in this environment before is very superlative. We want to appeal to our CP that we continue to allow them to remain with us here because we are already enjoying cordial relationship in working with them. That being said, our CP, we will all recall that in section 14(2)(b) of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as altered, the primary responsibility of government at any level is to ensure the welfare and security of our citizens. It is in realization of this CP when we came on board, like our area commander had rightly reported, that I ran to him and pleaded with him to help us reach out to our CP for relevant approval for our vigilantes in this local government to be profiled. Not only for them to be profiled, but after the profiling, they should also be trained. Our CP was very surprised when the area commander told me that he graciously gave approval to both SSRs. Some persons are simply may be wondering profile our vigilantes. In our very humble opinion and thinking, we felt that if vigilantes must work with us, we need to know whom they are. We need to have a detail of their biodata in our system. We do not want a situation where anybody will just put on the vigilante uniform and claim to be whom they are not. And for those that are not ready to be with us, we will have no choice than to weed them away. And that was significantly our CP, the motive behind the profiling. And at the end of the profiling, like our area commander has rightly reported, we got about 250 of them. Another way of saying this, our CP, is that after, at the end of the profiling, nobody can come in again to function as a vigilante or as an anti-corp member in Warri South if that person's name is not in this 250 number. At the end of the profiling, the next stage, of course, of which we pleaded, we all know how very busy our CP is. We know how tight his schedules are. But because of the love he has for this job, he has to leave all the busy and tight schedule and come here today to come and help us, to add value to what we are doing here by coming to flag off this exercise. Isn't that wonderful? Our CP permit me to let you know, sir, that the curriculum for which this training exercise is to be conducted have been technically mapped out in a way that we are convinced that at the end of this training exercise, these vigilantes and anti-corp members will no longer be what they have. We intend our CP to, as approved, because further relevant memo will be brought to our CP's consultation and relevant approval. We intend to see a situation that at the end of the training exercise, every of them that religiously passed through all the this training exercise will be not only be given a certificate, but will be issued an ID card. The issuance of this ID card is to formally cement their working relationship with the system, such that if any of them is found wanting, both the ID card and the certificate will be withdrawn from them. At the end of the training exercise, discussions have reached an advanced stage between our office and the office of the area commander as to how these 250 persons can be put into effective community policing use in this local government. Our humble appeal is that when relevant memo in this direction comes to your table for relevant consultation and approval, like we have done in the previous case, please, sir, help us to look at it and graciously give us relevant approvals. To complement this, all of this, we have also evolved an executive bill that we have sent to our legislative arm for relevant legislative consideration in order to complement all of this good plan of us. Believing that when this bill is finally passed into a bylaw, it will not have any way have any conflict with relevant superior laws of the Federation. Our CP have just been told that the bill has been passed into bylaw. Am I right? As CP, you can see how we work out our legislative arm, capacity that we have in our legislative arm in Warri South. As CP, because of the love that we have for you, we can go on and on. But for want of time, I would not want to take it for granted that we are not conscious, we are not mindful of a very tight and busy schedule. I would therefore want to appeal to our CP that you permit me to stop at this moment. But just before I drop the mic, let me announce to our CP that I have been given the honor and privilege to invite to the microphone our very admirable CP to come and help us do justice to the purpose of which we have brought our CP here. Our CP, sir, you're welcome.
While resting on the already established protocol, I want to use this medium to welcome my CP to this August meeting, though taking place in December, specifically for the inauguration of the training of 250 vigilante volunteers as well as anti-cops in Warri South local government. So permit me to give a little background of how we got to this place. About the month of August, soon after the national protest, the local government chairman of Warri South came to my office and said, "Area Commander, please, I will want you to assist me to direct profiling of the vigilante in my area, as well as undertake training in order for us to have effective control of those that are supporting the business of security." I look at the idea. Having worked with him when he was Commissioner for Youth in Delta State, as part of the Youth Policy, Delta State Youth Policy Validation Committee, I understood what it stands for. I gave it my blessing. Thereafter, communicated my father, that is the Commissioner of Police Delta State, who gave his approval to this gathering today. Before you this afternoon, sir, are 250 vigilante volunteers, so anti-cops, as well as hunters in Warri South local government. They were streamed by a committee I set up, chaired by my 2IC, CSP Bello, supported by the DPO A and B division who are here. After exhaustive training, we came to a total of 250. And today, we've been able to develop a program based on your approval, sir, to give them 3 days orientation on what vigilante or quasi-security organization is all about. The program is equipped, part of which is human rights, as well as the powers they have as vigilante under the law. They are here today before you, sir,